that he could win in Showtime. He outplays Drew Brees. Kirk Cousins got the game ball after the massive win.
Hey, that's how we've won all year, team, right? Yes, hey, you held them to 20 points, man. Yes, you gave us a chance at the end. But I got 3 words for you. You like that?
Out of a movie. Take that, haters. Vikings at Niners. They travel there now on Saturday. It's the first game of divisional weekend. You can see the schedule here. We'll break down each and every game, show you every highlight from this weekend. But that Adam Thielen, though, friend of the show.
Oh, my gosh, it was so good. And how good was the You Like That? It's back. Like, if anything has gone long enough, it's back. It's cargo pants or the hills. It's back. Very brief correspondence I had with Kirk Cousins last night. I will not give it all away, but he basically said, I feel really good. This one feels good. And damn it should feel good. You know what I mean? Kirk Cousins is corny. Kirk Cousins makes too much money. Kirk Cousins can't win. Superdome, Drew Brees, the juggernaut. And what does he do in the biggest play of overtime? He says, I've had enough of this. This is it. I'm tired of this life. This is my Biff, get your damn hands off her moments. You leave her alone. Get off of it. And that is Troy said it perfectly on the call. Thielen wasn't even down yet, and Troy Aikman goes, that's the biggest, best throw of Kirk Cousins' life. An absolute 10 out of 10, $100 million throw. We all know Kirk Cousins is a good guy, a good dad, all that. He has come up short in some big moments. This was an unbelievable reckoning for him, his life, his career, everything. Couldn't be happier for him. I do like that.
In the Superdome, in the playoffs, House of Horrors for everyone else, and Cousins gets it done. I'm not going to say I'm going to eat crow this morning, but I will say this. I'm about to eat an old statistic. It is time. Guys, I'm going to take you to the center tower.
Take a walk, Swags.
Guys, producers, can we bring up the old Monday Night Football stat? Can we bring up the Monday Night Football stat?
Oh, that old bit? Sure.
Let's bring up this old bit. Monday Night Football, Kirk Cousins. 0-9 in his career, 64%. He's got only 10 touchdowns. Hey, you know what? This guy right here.
Hey.
I never want to see this stat again because you know what? It doesn't matter. Show me the new stat.
Give it to us.
Show me the new stat that when it matters, when Kirk Cousins in the playoffs in the Superdome. 1-0, okay? A touchdown and an overtime victory over Drew Brees. Kirk Cousins, you shut everybody up yesterday. Never mentioned primetime. Never mentioned a big game.
What's the record, Peter? Get a close-up.
Get a
close-up.
We are done with the Monday Night Football stat for the history of it. I never want to hear it again. It doesn't matter. He's won the big one. He's won. All 9 of those games combined didn't even matter as a fraction of what that matters. Kirk Cousins, I am done talking about you. Unable to get the job done. Congratulations.
New year.
Kirk Cousins, you the man.
Driggs, new year, new Kirk Cousins.
New year,
1-0, not
new
only,
KC.
He's got a better playoff record than Brady and Brees doing.
Yes.
Hey.
That's true. I'll give a quick shout out to Anthony Harris. I feel like I always mention the other guys who had 6 interceptions, Tre'Davious White, Stephon Gilmore. There's a 3-way tie for 6 at the top. And both of those guys are home. They're shipping their cars. And Anthony Harris made a huge play in this game. Drew Brees getting a lot of credit after the game. A sullen Drew Brees, of course, but made plays when they needed to.
You're right about that, Kyle. You said this is his McFly.
Yeah. Get your damn hands off her
moment.
Change your life.
And it's funny because it was like the defense was back to the future.
Yeah.
It was the old school defense, the defense that was smothering quarterbacks.
5 All-Pros on that defense. We were waiting for it.
We were waiting for it. And remember a couple years ago, it was the defense we were talking about, and that's what they did. There were times where they rushed forward and dropped everybody else in the coverage, which means Michael Thomas couldn't get off. 7 catches, 70 yards. I mean, that's not the 145 record-breaking wide receiver we're used to.
7 catches, you shut him out. And Michael Thomas, they will take that.
And last week I said, listen, they have an opportunity to either be foolish and go one-on-one with Michael Thomas, or you smother him with multiple guys, double team, even triple team. And that's exactly what they did. Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill, Latavius Murray had more rushing yards than Alvin Kamara. I felt like the Vikings went in there with a plan. They said, you know what? We're going to trust our D-line. We'll rush 4, maybe 5. Drew Brees isn't going to run the ball. But if we can get to him and send guys in the coverage, we can drop guys underneath Michael Thomas, over the top Michael Thomas. And the reason Drew Brees threw an interception because he was throwing into double coverage. That's the whole point. So this defense, as much as I love Kirk Cousins, I do like that. As much as I love Adam Thielen, oh, yeah, he's back. That defense anchored these guys.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, if they want to win this weekend, that defense is going to have to step up just like they did this past weekend. All around special teams, offense, defense, 3-phase game. Minnesota Vikings, you earned that win. Congratulations. Skol
Hey.
7 catches for 70 yards for Michael Thomas. That's not a stat line we're used to seeing with him. Of course, Alvin Kamara held to a season low 21 yards, but they were without so many pieces. We saw Xavier Rhodes. He's having a terrible season as is, doesn't have an interception all year. He's limping on and off the field. He's obviously playing injured. They went into this game without their nickel corners. They didn't have Mike Hughes. They didn't have to go to Lambeau. There's a lot of history between these two teams. We'll talk about it throughout the show. A lot of that history is in Seattle. This is going to be very interesting to see what they can do, and we can give all the offense love, and we can make excuses for the Eagles as far as what the Seattle defense brought to the table, but they were the 26th ranked defense going into this. They weren't great. Nobody was talking about them. Clowney was everywhere. Wagner was everywhere, and they went up against the #1 by PFF graded offensive line and got 7 sacks yesterday. So that defense, if it can show up in the certain spots it needs to, they can make waves in the playoffs.
No doubt about it. They were balling out there.
At GMFB with your thoughts, of course. We've got more highlights up ahead, but we've also got a coaching search. It finally happened. The search now starts for the Cowboys. Ian Rappaport joining us now from New York. Middle of the Seahawks-Eagles game. Right in the middle of it, we got the news out of Dallas. So what is the latest on the Cowboys head coaching situation?
You know, usually, Kay, we talk about a coach being fired, and you can say, all right, well, now the team can finally get to work. That is absolutely not the case with the Dallas Cowboys. We have known for at least 6 days, probably more, that Jason Garrett was not going to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys in 2020. The Jones family met with Jason Garrett on Monday and on Tuesday, discussed extensively their plans. Then they went away for a couple days, and then they began their coaching search. Jason Garrett was still employed technically by the Cowboys, although everyone knew which way it was going to go. They interviewed Marvin Lewis, the former Bengals coach, with kind of a focus on head coaches who have been there and done that. And then they spent a couple days with Packers coach Mike McCarthy, who, of course, rose to prominence with Aaron Rodgers. And we spent so much time the last couple of years dissecting the Rodgers-McCarthy relationship, kind of ignoring the fact that McCarthy helped Rodgers become what he ended up becoming. This would be someone that Dak Prescott would absolutely love, and his work on offense with the quarterback position, and just in team in general, standing up in front of the team is something that may end up benefiting the Cowboys. So we knew all that was going on. And then in the middle of the Eagles game, they announced that they were not renewing Jason Garrett's contract, making it official. I thought, Kate, that they would end up doing this in the middle of Ron Rivera's press conference for the Redskins. I was wrong. It was in the middle of the Eagles playoff game. So close.
Timing is everything. They wait a week after their season ends to fire their head coach. And now the search continues. Thank you so much, Ian. We'll have you back in a bit. Some key injuries to update us on ahead of the divisional round. Back here in studio, Shriggs, were you surprised? And did they handle this an acceptable way?
It's certainly an unprecedented way. You couldn't make this way up. Jason Garrett apparently was also reportedly still lobbying for his job while they were meeting with Marvin Lewis and with Mike McCarthy. They finally closed. I don't know what that last week was for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm still not sure what the value of waiting the 5 days was, because his contract still didn't expire to January 14th. They didn't get a head start on interviewing any candidates. And what was gained through those 5 days other than confusion and an epic sideshow of a circus, from what it seemed like, with how they were treating a guy they supposedly had such fond feelings for? Now, where do they go? And amazingly, there's only been one coaching hire so far, Ron Rivera, who I think actually would have made some sense in Dallas if that's what they're looking for, with a coach with some head coaching experience. Do they go big swing? Do they go to one of these college guys? Do they try to make a trade for a current coach somewhere else? This is wide open. This is wide open as we speak. I'm still not sure what last week was, and why not just do it on Monday at 8 a.m. if that was the plan all along.
Did they cost Garrett opportunities by waiting a week?
No, because if he really isn't. Right. And I'm also curious if there's a line of suitors for Jason Garrett right now. Does he even get an interview? How did this help anyone? Why not just do it Monday?
It was the softest firing of all time. It's not even a firing. Like, the way they even worded it was the Cowboys were not seeking a new agreement on a contract extension. That's like, we're not breaking up with you. It's just kind of ending. It's just sort of dissipated. And the lease is over. And maybe as a future Dallas Cowboys head coach, like, if you come here, we will love you. Like, I also think that Ian is onto something, that Jerry twisting the mustache and announcing it in the middle of an Eagles playoff loss is kind of awesome, too. So just whoever the next man is, like, if it doesn't work out, it's going to go beautifully at the end. Maybe that makes it more attractive. Because other than that, this was just this weird purgatory.
Did they handle this correctly? I'll say yes. I mean, who are we to tell a billionaire how to spend his money or how to manage the hiring and firing of his employees? If they want to handle it the way he wants to, fine. You know, and now if there was a laundry list of coaches that got jobs and teams filled spaces and Jason Garrett was sitting back on the outside, hoping for a job, then I would answer this differently. But I feel like if Jason Garrett wants to go out there and throw his hat in the circle of coaches being fired, then he can still do that. And Jerry Jones is one of those individuals that even when we're not talking about the Cowboys, we're talking about the Cowboys. They didn't make the playoffs, so him having this spectacle, little bit of a circle, they kind of made the playoffs,
There's an expression that says, what's the use of having screw you money if you never say screw you?
Exactly.
Right? I think you said it.
And I feel like it was all strategic that we were still talking about the Cowboys.
They were the 13th team in the wild card round because we talked about them the entire week.
I feel like they were like the 6th.
Yeah, they might have.
Well done.